Welcome back to my floating Space 2 craft, and I did this page actually in my cabin on the ship, so I got a little bit better angle with my camera. I just put my tripod on the back of my desk and filmed sort of upside down. So this is another pre-made page kit that I had done for a class ages ago. It's called Endless Summer. It's some beautiful soft blues and sand at the bottom, palm trees, and then yellow mats for the photos. So I'm going to adjust those a bit on the left-hand page. It's a 2-page layout. So I'm going to just move this up as far as I can so that I can squeeze in another picture. The 2 pictures on the left-hand page are of our resort, and then the pictures on the right are of my mom doing the free scuba lesson in the pool at the resort. So I'm just checking the size of the mats and then cutting down 1/4 of an inch smaller than the mat size. So those I think were 3 by 4, 3 and maybe, yeah, 3 by 4 or 3 by 4.5. No, it must have been 3 by 4. And then I do a similar process on the other side. So I'm just trying to center the photos. It's just a series of photos of her in the water with her lesson. So I'm just trimming those out. I got one with the instructor in it. I don't need the instructor in all the pictures. So that I think looks really cute. I am going to end up adding something else to this page because it has so much blank space below it. I could have added another picture or something, but I didn't have one. So here I'm just going to trim these photos so that, again, it's a 1/4 inch total, so 1/8 of an inch border all around on the yellow. And then I had pulled some scraps, some mats from my Creative Memories mats in paper that coordinated with the light blue wave on the other side of the page, and I'm going to use that to mat this photo because I didn't have that exact yellow. And I think that pulling that into the other side of the page is nice as well. So here I'm just going to pull up. I'm using my multi-purpose tool. It's a very handy tool from Creative Memories. And then just squeezing that in under the palm trees, and it's actually the palm tree fronds are covering some palm tree fronds in the photo, so I think that's appropriate. I'm just scooting that up. There is space to scoot it up so that those pictures just make a little more sense on the page space-wise. And I'm really happy with that. This comes together really fast. I think it took me only 30 minutes to do the page end to end. So I've sped that up at 3 times speed. So you'll get it in 10 minutes. So here I'm just sticking these down. So if you watched my sessions where I was putting together these page kits, I have lots. I have entire iris bins full, probably 2 iris bins full of sort of pre-done kits that I've done in previous classes or from page kits that I've bought. And then when I don't have pictures to do, then I just put together a page kit. And it was really nice to be able to, I try and make it so that that's the first place I go to find a page that will work. But this was really nice to get this one used up. I have a couple others that I'm using as well. So here's my little scout that I bought just for this cruise. Of course, I'm going to be using it for retreats and other things as well when you want to not have to bring everything you own. So this is a stamp edged die. It's a relatively new die set that I bought, And so I just picked the smaller pieces to bring with me that will fit on this Scout size. I think it's a 3-inch wide base and then 6 or 8 inches long. So it's pretty good space. So I just use another of those matte papers, and this one's sort of mottled looking. I wanted the sort of watercolor look. I like that, but it's not quite there for me. So I'm going to cut a second one. Now I don't have a bigger size. I mean, I did at home, but it would not have fit on this, so I didn't bring it with me. So I'm just going to cut it out of some blue cardstock that perfectly matches that dark blue wave cardstock, and I'm just going to offset it just to give a little dimension and definition to that journal box. And then I'm going to tuck it under the waves so that the bottom edges don't show. And I'm happier with that for journaling the story of my mom scuba diving. All right, so I do pull out my dies that I had to see if I had some pre-done additional palm trees in there, and I pull those out up close. They just weren't, I didn't want it floating up in the top of the photo. I maybe could have put it down by the journal box in retrospect, but I end up not using it. But I'm just auditioning some pieces. I have put them all on a piece of wax paper when I selected them to try and minimize what I brought with me. And so here I'm just trying to figure out what might work where. These are just some additional initial thoughts. This is not where these things, I don't think, all land. I wanted some green over on the other side since I had the palm trees on the left side. And so that seems to work. So that cluster is starting to come together. I have a few more things. I have some shells. This little word says paradise. And this says, I think it's life is better at the pool or in the pool. Life is cool in the pool, I think is what it says. I end up not using this one that says summer lovin'. It doesn't make the cut, but here I just combine those into a nice little cluster. And I don't mind covering up that just, blank area of the photos. Then a couple little, embellishments. So this is a really simple page. It's not over embellished. I love that toucan up there, and that sort of helps tie that photos into the title. And then I have some enamel dots that are a great match for it. So just placing those enamel dots in the different sort of cluster areas. So it's a simple page. I sometimes, I go a little overboard on embellishments. That's, trying to create more and more layers, but I also like this simple look. I did consider adding some more inking to the edges, and I just decided not to since it's not what was designed by the original layout designer. And I think we're finished. We'll do a couple of close-ups. Thank you guys for watching, and I've got some more pages, some more cruise scrapbooking coming up. I'm going to try and do some every sea day. So thanks a lot, you guys. Come back for more.